So one of my rules is I don't do coffee or drink dates. Now, I understand that some women like this or prefer this because it's a quick turnaround, 30 to 45 minutes. If you don't like him, you can get out of there. It works for some people. If you like it, I love it. This video is not for you. Keep scrolling. However, for me, as for me and my household, we're going to have higher standards. I'm talking to this guy, and I'm going to read it to you because we've been talking for a couple days, and he started talking about meeting up. So he said, we should get together over some pear and lychee cocktails soon. And I said, that's really sweet, but I prefer dinner. I like to get dressed up. Now, I always try to say it nicely because I don't want to be like, I don't accept drink dates. Like, you don't have to be mean. You don't have to be, you can be nice about it. But I always just say I prefer dinner because I like to get dressed up. And he said, I see. What type of places do you have in mind? So I sent him a list of places that I've been like wanting to try, all sorts of different budgets, okay? It ranges from like medium to a little bit higher, all different locations around the city, so he can choose like what works for him, you know, timing and budget wise. So I sent the list of places. He says, these places sound really nice. I think it'll be fun to get to know each other over some nicer dining options. Here it comes though. But I wanted to let you know up front that if we were to meet at one of those places, I'm comfortable splitting the check. I usually will do drinks or something on the simpler end for the first meetup to see if there's a connection first. So my thing is, I don't like the coffee or drink date because they're trying to audition you to see if you are worth an actual dinner.
According to the Collins English Dictionary, a date is an appointment to meet someone or go out with them, especially someone with whom you are having, or may soon have, a romantic relationship. Basically, a date is an audition, when you are not in a relationship with that person, and you meet them is to know if you can go along together and be with each other in a romantic way. You ask a bunch of questions just to figure out who that person is and if he or she can fit you or the role you want them to play in your life. It's an audition. And the place did not matter 20, 30 plus years ago because people used to go for long walk in parks and eat ice creams on first dates and still got married at a higher rate than we do and lived happier life than us, despite the fact of us having limo and 5 stars restaurant first dates.
This is the thing for me. Like, I know men. The number one thing men are judging you off of is your looks, right? When they see you, they meet you, they're gonna be like, okay, how beautiful is she? Is she put together? Do I find her attractive, right? That's the number one thing. Your personality may come second, sure, but the first thing is how you look, right? So with that in mind, my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer costs $32, okay? Why would I put on a full face of expensive makeup, do my hair, make sure my nails are done, make sure there's no hair on my body, and then come and spend 2 hours of my time talking to you for an $8 coffee or a $16 cocktail? Be oh so for real. Let's take it even deeper. When women go out with a man that they do not know, they take a huge risk. Men are crazy, okay? Do you watch the news? Like 1 in 5 men are violent. He could unalive you, he could RAPE you, he could stalk you, he could harass you if he feels like it. Like, it is very dangerous, extremely dangerous. When you go out with a man, you have to share your location with your mom and your friend. You have to send a screen recording of his Hinge profile and the conversation that you guys had so that if you go missing, they have context. You have to text your friend every half an hour while you're with him to let her know that you haven't been beheaded. You have to take an Uber so that he doesn't know what kind of car you have, and just in case he's crazy. And then when you get home, you have to text somebody to tell them that you made it home alive. Men aren't doing that. They don't have to worry when they meet a woman that they do not know that their lives will be in danger. Quite the contrary, men benefit from just being seen with you in public, okay? If you are beautiful, poised, well-dressed, it reflects well on him.
It's the same for us. It goes both ways anyway. Because when you as a woman wants a top-tier man, it's because you benefit from being seen with him. He might be famous, rich, an athlete, or just someone who's good-looking and has something great going on for himself. And don't bring up the makeup cost thing, because men have expenses too. We don't show up to dates barefoot on foot, naked and smelling bad. You did not buy your makeup for your dates, you bought it for your everyday life. Dates or not, you will put it on your face anyway. Who's supposed to pay for the no-date days then? Make it make sense.
People look at him and they think, oh wow, he must be the man. Ooh, he probably has money. You know what? He's probably a good guy if he can pull her. And this is especially so if you are more attractive than him. If he's fugly or he's overweight or he's short, they're like, oh yeah, he must have money in order to be able to pull a baddie like that. So my thing is like, what's in it for women? We've already spent more money than you by just putting our makeup on. We're in danger. Like, what's in it for us? So then all of that, plus this man is a pharmacist. Okay, you mean to tell me you make upwards of $150,000 per year, but you can't take me to $120 to maybe $200 dinner, 2 drinks, an appetizer, 2 entrees, and a dessert? Like, and that kind of thing. Look, men are supposed to be on their like best behavior when they're doing a first interaction with a woman. Like, that is when they are at their absolute best. So if he's being cheap now for a first interaction, he's gonna be cheap on your birthday. He's gonna be cheap on Christmas. Like, that kind of thing, that only gets worse. It never gets better. That is the type of man that's going to want you to work full time, pay half the rent when you guys move in together, do the majority of the housework because he doesn't want to hire a housekeeper, raise the kids, plan most of the things, and then after you do your 16-hour shift of labor, he's going to want you to be happy and sexy for him, for his pleasure that night. Like, that's the kind of life you're looking at. So you know what? Good for this man for asserting his boundary. He did it very nicely, and it showed me what his like attitude or approach is when it comes to dating new women, and ultimately it gave me the opportunities to choose, and I have my boundaries too, so I chose to not accept it. And so I didn't respond or anything. I didn't like bargain with him or try to justify anything. I just quietly unmatched him because I wasn't gonna let him play in my face. But like, obviously if you're on TikTok, like, this is not irregular discourse. Like, this is very popular. Like, the Red Pill podcast men are always talking about like all of these things. So like, it's not uncommon. Like, men are trying to get away with this these days. They're trying to see what they can do. They're trying to get at you for less than $20. Okay, so the pharmacist tried to give me a coffee date on a Friday. Saturday, a surgeon took me to a beautiful dinner with a view. The next day after that, this other man took me to this food event.
You see, gentlemen, how it works. You are going to spend a ton of money on her on Friday. On Saturday, another man is going to do the same. On Sunday, a third dude is also going to do the same. Just do the math when it comes to a whole year. Don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong with someone exercising options, but what's the point of putting so much importance on something good, nice, bad, dangerous, and all type of guys can do? And since she has been to these dates, what changed in her life? Did she find the one? Did she have a ring or something that might look like it? The answer is probably no. For our young sisters out there, I really hope you don't take advice from this kind of women, because they will destroy your opportunities. All millionaires don't drive Lambos. All millionaires don't have expensive items on them. And more important, all that glitters is not gold.
Is it a good one? Splitting the check. Okay. Splitting the check. On a first date? He asked in the beginning of the date? Towards the middle? Oh, you were boring. In the middle? Did you like him? Until that moment, did you like him? I'm curious. Until he asked to split the check, where you're like, this is going good. You were? Fuck. Did you sleep with him? Wow. Oh my God. He split you and the check in one night.